Am I the a-hole for being upset that I am treated differently than my siblings? I need to know if I'm the a-hole. This is long, and I apologize in advance, but this issue has been ongoing for over a decade, so there is a lot involved. To the point where I know I'll be leaving things out, and I fear this may not give a completely clear picture. The more recent instances are just the tipping point. I have 38, and the middle child out of 3 living children belonging to my parents. My sisters will be referred to as 1, F46, and 3, F33. Their partners are S, M40, and D, M34. When we were children, my mother, F65, renowned for her excellent cooking, began a tradition where, on your birthday, you could choose anything you wanted, and she would make it for a family dinner to celebrate the birthday person. I'm a December baby and always struggled with my birthdays getting snowed out or no one being around to celebrate due to holiday travel. I'm referring to school friends here. My family compensated by holding off until I agreed to decorate for Christmas, and of course we had the birthday dinner. When I graduated high school, I went off to college 6 hours from home. I would come home for every break and every holiday. In 2010, when I asked about when we could fit my birthday meal into my visit, my mother looked me in the eyes at a family member's wedding the weekend after Thanksgiving and told me that no one wants to cram another family meal in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. At that point, she went up and asked the band at the wedding to sing me happy birthday. The band announced that they had been asked to celebrate a guest's birthday, but would like to remind everyone that the bride's birthday was the following day. Humiliating, but okay. Moving on. From that incident on, I have only received 2 birthday meals. I was 24 then. Fast forward to my 30th birthday. My then partner, and the father of my child, called my mother and arranged for me to have a birthday meal with my family for the first time in 6 years. We split up later that year, and I ended up living with my parents along with my daughter, who was 2 at the time. The following year, my daughter cried to my mother that no one would throw a birthday for me, so my mother did a dinner for me that year as well. I am now 38, and I have not had a single dinner since. My siblings both receive their birthday dinners every year without fail, as do their partners and one's 2 grown children. One of my siblings also went away to college but was never skipped. The other sibling's husband and 2 grown children have also never been skipped for birthday meals. I have let my family know that this hurts me, and I have begged repeatedly for the reason why I am treated differently. I've never stolen, been to jail, done drugs, harmed anyone. I don't know why I get treated like the throwaway family member. I'm constantly gaslit and told I'm dramatic, to get over it, that I'm full of crap, etc. I gave birth to my second biological child, I got married and welcomed a beautiful stepchild, and my own son since my breakup with my daughter's father. My family ignored my husband when he asked if he should throw a baby shower or if they would. They lied to my 2 closest college friends and said they would do something and invite them to attend when my friends offered to put something together. Spoiler, there was no baby shower. My mother is now telling anyone who will listen that it's because you never throw a shower after the first baby. However, my older sister got a shower for both of her children. My mother said it was because she had a girl first and we just thought she would need some boy things. In case you haven't been following the timelines and family members. I said I have a daughter, a stepdaughter, and just had a baby boy last year. That's right. Daughter first, boy second. No shower. Now the final straw for me happened on New Year's Day. I overheard my sisters talking about their itinerary and dinner plans. I asked what they were talking about, and it turns out they are going on my dream vacation. The country is somewhere I have wanted to go for a long time, and we're discussing the trip. That's right. They are taking a sibling trip together with their partners. My partner and I, once again, were excluded. The hurt must have been plain on my face because 3 snorted, looked at me, and said, "What, do you want to come?" Then she chuckled and went back to her conversation. She was my maid of honor, by the way. I show up for everyone else's birthdays, graduations, celebrations, etc. I bring a dish, or 5. I bring a gift. I set up, and I break down and clean up. Yesterday, I received a photo via text of her engagement ring. While on their sibling trip, 3's partner proposed. 1 and her husband were there recording. It's worth noting that when I got engaged, it was the day before Father's Day, so I kept it to myself so no one would claim I was trying to make Father's Day all about me. My niece noticed and pointed it out to 1, who replied, "Yeah, I see the thing," and rolled her eyes. I need to know if my feelings of being treated like trash they wish they could make disappear are valid, or if I'm being the a-hole. I have spoken to my family about how this hurts me, and I'm told to suck it up and not be so dramatic. I'm also gaslit and told I'm making things up. I get a present for my birthday every year, but I keep trying to tell them I would rather just have a dinner with my family rather than something they bought to shut me up. I'm not greedy, it's not because I want stuff. I just want to be treated like I am as important as the rest of the family, or at least that my children are. No baby shower for one of them, and none of them have ever gotten a dinner from my mother. No one can tell me why my husband and I are treated as inferior to my other siblings. I want to know why I am expected to show up and celebrate people who make it pretty obvious that they do not celebrate me. Does feeling this way make me an a-hole? Final update: I am back with a not very surprising update to my post from 9 months ago. I read through all of your comments, and sometimes when I question myself, I go back and read them again. I took everyone's advice and cut all contact with my mother. My siblings are on very low contact and understand why, and my father is scrambling to figure out what to do. I have not been to a single family function since St. Patrick's Day dinner last year. I blocked my mother on everything: phone, social media, email, etc. It took almost 4 months before what a lot of you predicted finally happened. Now that I am not around to blame, abuse, or humiliate, my mother is lashing out at everyone in turn to see who she can abuse and still get everyone to shut up and let her be right. Recently, she went to have drinks with both of my sisters and my adult niece. I'm getting this information secondhand from my younger sister and niece during a recent meetup, while they were waiting for their drinks at a locally owned distillery. Think very small business vibe, very community forward despite being an alcohol establishment. My mother took it upon herself to loudly cuss out someone's school-age child for opening and closing the door too many times and letting the cold air in. My niece, being a smart and reasonable person, said something to the effect of, "Whoa, he's just a kid." At that point, my mother proceeded to publicly tear into my niece. My niece has a lot of anxiety and has worked really hard to get to a good place mentally. My mother has never spoken poorly about her or said anything unkind to her before, but that has now changed. My mother said a lot of things that I do not know verbatim. Again, I wasn't there, no contact and all, but I was told that she essentially dressed my niece down for being disrespectful, along with much more. My niece is obviously devastated but is handling the situation with grace. My father, on the other hand, is torn. After I went no contact with my mother, my father came to my home and asked me to explain it to him. So I did. In detail. And this man has been so indoctrinated into sticking his head in the sand after yelling "Listen to your mother," that he can clearly see why I'm hurt and that this is wrong. But he still slips into either defending her or discrediting me with phrases such as "so what?" or "oh, big deal." He showed up on my birthday with a card and a gift and sang happy birthday to me. He is trying, but he has to unlearn many things that have been normalized over the years. My father is a recovering alcoholic, and whether it was because he was so drunk that he couldn't step in, or because he was hiding from my mother's wrath and disgust at raising 3 kids while he passed out in the yard, he's not really used to analyzing my mother's family decisions and overriding them. It makes him uncomfortable, so he reverts back to supporting whatever my mother has decreed, unless you call him on it in great detail. I told him I will not continue to do this because it is unfair to me and also exhausting. I told him that if his default response is going to be telling me to just get over it, then he will be the next one blocked on everything. He has been tiptoeing around me ever since. I think he is afraid to lose access to my kids. He has now been begging oldest sister, my niece's mother, to address things with my mother. He asked her to talk to her about backing off on the kids before she blows up the whole family. Up until the incident with my niece, I was allowing my children to go visit my parents whenever they wanted. I have now found out that my middle child, in particular, has heard all manner of nasty things my mother has said about all of her parents. And when I say all, I mean it is not limited to myself and my husband. She has apparently also voiced her opinions about my daughter's biological father and his wife. I had to have an unfortunate discussion with my child to tell her that it is not okay to talk about people like that. I also told her that if her grandmother continues to say hurtful things when she is around, I won't be able to let my children visit anymore. My oldest child, technically my stepdaughter, but still my kid, no longer wants to visit her at all because she overheard my mother refer to her as Piggy, dessert kid, and oinker at my nephew's graduation party. She never told my husband or me. I knew my mother had used some inappropriate words to express her fake concern about my daughter's weight gain. She was 9 at the time. Kids go through phases. She wasn't obese, she just got some chipmunk cheeks until her next growth spurt. It was already one of my main sticking points when my mother and I were arguing about how she treats my family. The final straw for me was finding out she had said those things within earshot of my child.